Hello there and welcome to RTM News. My name is Emmy Akura Adaa. I will be taking a look at the stories coming in our news for tonight. Two EFF MPs resign over CR17 campaign money. Two EFF members have resigned from Parliament and the political party's central command team over money they received from ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa. Tebo Mokwele and Nkagisang released their resignation letters which contained similar sections yesterday evening. EFF Deputy President Floyd Shivambu said on Twitter that he accepted the resignations, saying they represented superior levels of political discipline. I accept objective and subjective wrongdoing and step aside for the sake of the organization. Mokwele explained that her resignation followed a deep and careful introspection about the impact of my association with the president of the ANC and the Republic, in which there was an exchange of money for my personal use, a total of 80,000 rand between 2017 and 2019. Staying in this segment, Ramaphosa says a political battle with a public protector won't distract him. President Cyril Ramaphosa is steadfast on executing his duties despite his legal battle with a public protector, Bosisiwe Nkweban, which he says has now become political. Speaking following the conclusion of his state visit to Tanzania, Ramaphosa said he would not be distracted from doing his job as the president. Well, issues that are going on with the public protector are par for the cause. I mean, these are political things that are happening. They are not distracting me. I was elected by the people of South Africa to do their work, so I carry on doing their work, and that process continues, said Ramaphosa. Still in South Africa, Parliament pushes ahead with a review of decision to fire Jiba. Parliament is forging ahead with the process of looking into whether President Cyril Ramaphosa's decision to fire the MPs Jiba and Lawrence in line with the Mogoro's report stand or not. The chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Justice and Correctional Services, Bulelani, said the process would continue as there was no interdict stopping the proceedings. According to the law, the committee has 30 days to review the decision once the president has sent his report to Parliament, and that deadline expires soon. Taking a look at the last story coming in this segment, corrupt MP let Malema off the hook over tender millions, said Solly Mapaila. EFF leader Julius Malema was let off the hook by corrupt elements in the National Prosecuting Authority. This is according to South Africa Communist Party Deputy General Secretary Solly Mapaila. He said Malema was let off in the case involving his Ratanang Trust, which was a shareholder of On Point Engineering, a company fingered for improperly benefiting in a multi-million rand tender in Limpopo. According to Mapaila, this was among the reasons the EFF and its leader had made the Minister of Public Enterprises, Pravin Gordhan, their personal project because he was the one who cracked down on Ratanang Trust issues during his tenure as the Minister of Finance. After the short break, we'll be taking a look at the rest of Africa. Stay tuned.
Programs education and entertainment for spiritual messages uplifting your soul. We are here. Education and entertainment for spiritual messages uplifting your soul. We are here. Redemption Television Ministries, redeeming lives is our focus. Oh, yeah. education and entertainment, for spiritual messages uplifting your soul. We are here. RTM, 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 Redemption Television.
Welcome back. Heavy security in Zimbabwe's Bulawayo as opposition challenges a protest ban. Soldiers and police are deployed in large numbers in Zimbabwe's second city, Bulawayo, to enforce a ban on an anti-government demonstration, as the country's main opposition party sought to overturn their decision in court. The street protest was the second called in 4 days by the Movement for Democratic Change, MDC, which accuses President Emerson Mnangagwa's government of repression and economic mismanagement. Authorities had also banned Friday's gathering in Harare, intended as the launch event of a nationwide protest movement. The MDC called it off, saying it aimed to avert bloodshed after police there rounded up its followers and dispersed them with batons and water cannon. Staying in this segment, ousted Sudan President Bashir in court over corruption. Sudan's ousted President Omar al-Bashir yesterday arrived amid heavy security at the courthouse in the capital Khartoum, where he is facing corruption charges. A Reuters witness said Bashir was charged with illicit deposition of foreign currency and accepting gifts in an unofficial manner, prosecutor Ala Aldin Adala said in June. His trial will be a test of how serious the country's authorities are about trying to erase the legacy of his 30-year rule marked by widespread violence, economic collapse, and the secession of South Sudan. Bashir was also charged in May with incitement and involvement in the killing of protesters, and prosecutors also want him questioned over suspected money laundering and terrorism financing. Staying in this segment, Chad declares state of emergency in 2 eastern provinces after intercommunal clashes. Chad President Idris Deby declared a state of emergency in 2 eastern provinces on Sunday after violent intercommunal clashes left dozens dead earlier this month. The state of emergency will run for 3 months in Sila and Kwadai regions, where 50 people have died since August 9 in fighting between cattle herders and settled farmers. The president's office said, "From now we will deploy military forces who are going to ensure the security of the population in the region." Deby said while on a trip to Sila, "We must disarm all the civilians who have weapons in their hands," he said. Eastern Chad is in the grip of cycle of violence between nomadic camel herders, many from the Zagawa ethnic group from which Deby hails, and sedentary farmers from the Kwadai community. Drought and population growth have aggravated the conflict. Staying in this segment, 2 separate motor accidents claim about 20 lives in Uganda. At least 20 people have been killed in 2 separate motor accidents in Uganda, including an explosion involving a fuel tanker in the country's west, police said, in incidents highlighting growing road safety concerns in the region. A fuel tanker exploded Sunday after losing control and ramming into commuter taxis and a car in the western district. The fire from the tanker sparked 3 smaller secondary explosions of vehicles parked nearby. Several small shops at the scene also caught fire. 9 burned bodies were retrieved from the scene, and another was still trapped beneath the truck, a police statement said. After the short break, we'll be taking a look at the rest of African stories in Nigeria. Stay tuned.
Programs were here, education and entertainment, for spiritual messages uplifting your soul. We are here. Redemption Television Ministries, redeeming lives is our focus. For quality programs were here, education and entertainment, for spiritual messages uplifting your soul. We are here. RTM, RTM, education and entertainment, for spiritual messages uplifting your soul. We are here. RTM, 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 Redemption Television.
You're still watching RTM News. Indigbo, Germany apologizes over attack on Ekwere Madu. Indigbo, Germany, an umbrella body of Igbo people living in Germany, tendered an unreserved apology to the former Deputy President of the Senate. Senator Eke Ekwere Madu over the weekend attacked on him by members of the proscribed indigenous peoples of Biafra in Nuremberg, Germany. A statement by Uche Anichuku, special assistant to Ekwere Madu on media, said the group has said that any embarrassment to leading light of Indigbo like Ekwere Madu was an embarrassment to the entire Igbo race and Nigeria, vowing to ensure that the law runs its full course. The body said the event was part of its effort to encourage foreign investment and industrialization of Igbo land, noting that it provided a forum for Igbo people in diaspora to network and to engage German business community with interest in investment and development in Igbo land in particular and Nigeria in general. Still in Nigeria, order EFCC to release my $40 million jewelry, Daizani praise court. A former Minister of Petroleum Resources, Mrs. Daizani Alison Maduke, has urged the court to order the return of her 2,149 pieces of jewelry and a customized gold iPhone valued at $40 million, which were seized by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. Daizani, who is currently in the United Kingdom, accused the EFF of entering her apartment illegally and taking the items without any court order. She said the anti-graft agency violated her fundamental right to own property and to appropriate them at her discretion under Section 43 and 44 of the Constitution. She urged the court to reject the prayer by the EFCC to permanently forfeit the jewelry and the gold iPhone to the federal government. These were contained in an application filed on her behalf by Professor Awakalu before the Federal High Court in Lagos. Still in Nigeria, Benue government owing over 22 billion naira gratuity, says Otom. Benue State Governor Samuel Otom says that the state government is owing over 22 billion naira as gratuity for the state's workers. Otom stated these on Monday during the inauguration of the chairman and members of the State Pension Commission in Makurdi. He disclosed that he inherited 18 billion naira gratuity liability in 2015, and that because of the paucity of funds to offset the debt, coupled with additional number of retired workers over time, the debt had risen to 22 billion naira. He further disclosed that the monthly pension bill for the state was now 800 million naira as against the 400 million naira bill he inherited in 2015. The governor said the state needed to urgently commence the full domestication of the National Contributory Pension Scheme Act 2004 to mitigate the sufferings of the pensioners. Still in Nigeria, Fayeme bans English language at traditional events. Governor Kayode Fayeme of Ekiti State has banned the use of the English language as a means of communication during any traditional events in any part of the state. The governor, who gave the directive on Monday in Ado Ekiti during the first Ekiti State Art and Culture Stakeholders Forum, said it has now become an offense for anyone to communicate in the English language during traditional events. Fayeme said this administration was desirous to promote arts and culture in the state through Yoruba and Ekiti dialect, saying these will make the step imperative at this point in time. And taking a look at the last story coming in this segment, Assembly rejected 3 Sanwo-Olu cabinet nominees, confirms 35. The Lagos State House of Assembly on Monday confirmed 35 of the 38 screened commissioners and special advisors designate of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. The 3 nominees denied confirmation were Mr. Olanrewaju Sanusi, Mr. Obafemi George, and Mrs. Adekemi Ajayi. The Speaker of the House, Mr. Mudashiru Obasa, however, noted that the governor could re-nominate them if he wished. Obasa, while addressing the nominees, said the lawmakers will not fail in their oversight function to ensure that their nominees perform their responsibilities to residents of Lagos. He urged the nominees to prioritize the welfare of the people. Even after the confirmation, we will continue to monitor whatever office you are assigned to ensure value for public funds. We will continue to oversee your activities. We will not hesitate to pass a vote of no confidence in anyone found wanting, the Speaker stated. And those are all the stories coming in our Nigerian stories. After the short break, we'll be taking a look at our international stories. Stay tuned.
Programs Wahi, education and entertainment, for spiritual messages uplifting your soul. We are here. RTM, 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 Redemption Television Ministries, redeeming lives is our focus. For quality programs, Wahi, education and entertainment, for spiritual messages uplifting your soul. We are here. RTM, 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 Redemption Television Ministries, redeeming lives is our focus. For quality programs, Wahi, education and entertainment, for spiritual messages uplifting your soul. We are here. RTM, RTM, Redemption Television.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at the stories coming in these segments. Son, brother of Guatemalan President Morales, acquitted of corruption. A Guatemalan court yesterday acquitted the son and brother of President Jimmy Morales after a corruption case that slashed the president's popularity and precipitated the country's expulsion of a United Nations supported corruption commission. Samuel Sami Morales, the president's brother and political advisor, was facing charges of fraud and money laundering. Jose Manuel Morales, the president's eldest son, was facing fraud charges in January 2017. The Attorney General's office and the International Commission Against Impunity in Guatemala accused both men of defrauding the land registry of $12,000 in 2018 using false invoices before Morales was elected. Staying in this segment, UK plans to end EU freedom of movement immediately in no-deal Brexit. Britain said it would end the European Union freedom of movement rules immediately after it leaves the bloc on October 31st. But Prime Minister Boris Johnson said the country would not be hostile to immigration. Under Johnson's predecessor Theresa May, the government had said only that if Britain left the EU without a transition deal, it would aim to end free movement as soon as possible. Johnson, who took office last month, has promised to take Britain out of the EU with or without a deal on October 31st. Freedom of movement as it currently stands will end on October 31st when the UK leaves the EU. And after Brexit, the government will introduce a new fairer immigration system that prioritizes skills and what people can contribute to the UK rather than where they come from. A spokesperson for the Britain Interior Ministry, the Home Office, said in a statement. Staying in this segment, El Salvador, Evelyn Hernandez cleared over baby's death. A 21-year-old woman in El Salvador whose baby was found dead in the toilet. Evelyn Hernandez had always maintained she was innocent, saying that she did not know she was pregnant and lost consciousness during the birth. Prosecutors had asked for a prison sentence of 40 years. Her case has been closely watched in El Salvador and abroad. Women's rights activists are demanding she be acquitted. El Salvador has one of the strictest anti-abortion laws in the world. Abortion is illegal in all circumstances, and those found guilty face between 2 and 8 years in jail. Taking a look at the last story coming in this segment, Arizona man gets life sentence for killing burying couple. An Arizona man was sentenced on Monday to life in prison for killing a couple and burying them in his backyard in a 6-foot deep grave he dug with a borrowed backhoe, his lawyer said. Jose Valenzuela, 42, was spared the death penalty under a plea deal with the prosecutors in the 2015 murders of Tina and Mike Carisha, each killed by a single shot to the head during an altercation at the shooter's home. Valenzuela, who admitted to taking methamphetamine at the time, pleaded guilty in July to first-degree murder in Tina Carisha's death and second-degree murder in Mike Carisha's death, documents showed. And those are all the stories we have for you in this segment. After the short break, we'll be taking a look at our sports stories. Stay tuned.
Programs education and entertainment, for spiritual messages uplifting your soul. We are here. RTM, 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 Redemption Television Ministries, redeeming lives is our focus. For quality programs, Wahi, education and entertainment, for spiritual messages uplifting your soul. We are here. RTM, 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 Redemption Television Ministries, redeeming lives is our focus. For quality programs, Wahi, education and entertainment, for spiritual messages uplifting your soul. We are here. RTM, 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 Redemption Television.
You're still watching RTM News. Let's take a look at the stories coming in our sports stories for tonight. And starting with the Premier League that took place last night, Pogba misses penalty as Manchester United draw at Wolves. Paul Pogba had a second-half penalty saved as Manchester United were held to a Premier League draw at Wolves. With the score 1-1 in the second half, the Frenchman was fouled by Conor Coady and got up to take the spot kick. Despite failing with 3 penalties last season and Marcus Rashford scoring from one against Chelsea on the opening weekend, Pogba's powerful shot was pushed away by Rui Patricio, who saved the low to his right. In the first half, containing just 3 shots, Antonio Martial had put United in front with his 50th goal for the club. A fine left-footed finish only for Ruben Neves to level with a sensational strike from the edge of the area, which bounced down off the crossbar 10 minutes after the break. Still in the sports story, Mauricio Sarri, Juventus coach, treated for pneumonia. Former Chelsea boss Mauricio Sarri is being treated for pneumonia. The 60-year-old Juventus coach spent Monday morning at the Italian club, having missed a weekend friendly against Tresina because of what was initially thought to be flu. After feeling unwell, further tests diagnosed pneumonia and Juve confirmed the treatment had begun. Juventus visit Parma for their opening Serie A match on Saturday, and it is not clear if Sarri will be in charge. Still in the sports story, Corinthians women equal world record for number of wins. Corinthians have become the first professional women's team to equal the world record for the number of consecutive wins by a top-flight side. The Brazilian side beat Ferroviária 4-0 on Sunday to claim their 27th win in all competitions. The record was held by Welsh Premier League side the New Saints. TNS broke Aya's 44-year record in December 2016, but Corinthians can set a new record by beating San Jose at home on Wednesday. The Serie A leaders have scored 95 goals in their winning run since the 26th match, conceding only 8 goals. And taking a look at the last story coming in this segment, David Luiz, Arsenal defender, says he left Chelsea because of his ambition. David Luiz said he left Chelsea to join Arsenal because of his ambition and to experience a new challenge. The 32-year-old centre-half made his Gunners debut in Saturday's 2-1 Premier League home win over Burnley after his move on the transfer deadline day. Chelsea, who beat Arsenal in the Europa League final, came third in the league last season with Arsenal fifth. I am a guy with ambition, and that is why I moved. I like a new challenge and new things in my life, said Luiz. And those are all the stories we have for you in our news for tonight. Thank you so much for staying with us. We'll be seeing you again tomorrow, same time, same station. Do have a wonderful evening.
Redemption Television Ministries, redeeming lives is our focus. Oh, yeah. For quality programs, why? Education and entertainment, for spiritual messages uplift.